part of discipleship is learning how to sort of look for light in the darkness. One way this looked for me that I talk about is, well, let me back up. Let me say there's two ways that we're watching. One is really eschatological. Like we are watching for Jesus to come and set things right. And this question of theodicy, why does God allow bad things to happen in the world if God is good and powerful? I talk in the book that ultimately it's not a logic question. When people ask us this, when kids are struggling with this, they are not wanting kind of a rational answer primarily. Because there's loads of philosophical stuff written on this, and it hasn't satisfied us, right? What this is a longing for things to be made right. This is a longing primarily. It's an innate desire for justice, which is good. It's an innate desire for action. So I actually think theodicy is not going to be answered until Jesus comes and sets things right. And so we are kind of watching and waiting for Jesus to come. The saying, if it's not okay, it's not the end, right? Things are not okay. And so we're waiting for the end. So some of it is, I think what Cole talked about, I wasn't here, but he told me about his talk, about sort of like tuning our hearts and our eyes to wait on Jesus, expecting him to come and expecting him to set things right. We watch for the resurrection of the dead and the life of the world to come. But we also believe that God's kingdom is not just something that kind of awaits us in the distance, but that it's crashing into our reality today, that it's crashing in now. So that God, who is setting all things right, is at work even today. And prayer teaches us this craft of watching. Prayer, I would say, is the chief way that we cultivate eyes that can see God at work. Rowan Williams talks, the former Archbishop of Canterbury, talks about prayer like bird watching. He says that a lot of times in prayer, like bird watching, you feel like you're just kind of sitting there. And then he says that suddenly something bursts into view and you can see it. And he says that living in this sort of expectancy, living in awareness, your eyes sufficiently open, is basic to discipleship. Part of what it means to disciple people is to train attention, right? And so we're training attention on the ways that God is at work.